First of all, this viral news from Punch newspapers is based on speculation. Out of all the people they interviewed, only one source confirmed this news to them, and that source remains unnamed and anonymous. The source says that Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi met in London earlier this year, that Atiku in that meeting proposed a VP ticket to Peter Obi, pledging to serve only one term in office. And Obi said that he would think about it and make the proposal to his base. And since then, Obi has been making the opposite. He has been saying that he will not be part of any coalition that is not about saving the Nigerian people. That if it's about hijacking power for the sake of power, like it happened in 2015 when Nigerians were bamboozled to vote for Muhammadu Buhari, we all know how it turned out. So Peter Obi has never confirmed the news. He has never made such a proposal. Even the National Coordinator of Obedient Movement, Yunusa, confirmed in the interview that Peter Obi has never told him anything about it. In fact, he said he spoke to him yesterday, that he spoke to him in Benin, that he has never said such a thing. So it's based on speculation. Can't take this news seriously. This is reminiscent of the narrative they spread in the north that made Kwankwaso to reprimand Atiku Abubakar and his supporters. In that narrative they were spreading among the clerics and other influential people in the north, they said that Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar and Kwankwaso have all agreed in a power-sharing deal that will see Atiku Abubakar take the first shot at the presidency, after which Peter Obi will take another shot, then Kwankwaso will take the third shot. Kwankwaso denied it at the time that he was never part of any coalition, any deal at all involving Atiku Abubakar or Peter Obi. Also, in another interview, Kwankwaso clarified that he will be willing to deputize Peter Obi if that's what it would take to remove APC from power. So it seems to be a narrative Atiku loyalists are spreading. Peter Obi is not part of such a deal, if such a deal ever exists in the first place. And one thing that is very funny that they always add to the narrative is that Atiku is Peter Obi's pathway to the presidency. If Atiku is truly the pathway to the presidency, why is he not able to make himself the president alone without Peter Obi? Yes, they've refused to drop this line since Atiku Abubakar dropped the line in Oka while campaigning during the 2023 presidential election. It sounds very condescending. Yes, it's politics, it's a game of numbers. But can Atiku Abubakar actually pull more numbers than Peter Obi? No. Forget about the way they rig elections. He cannot pull more numbers than Peter Obi. No matter how he wants to play the politics, whether he wants to play ethnic politics, tribalism, religion, he can't pull more numbers than Peter Obi. Peter Obi has proven this in 2023 presidential election. Atiku Abubakar went tribal during the 2023 presidential election campaign in Arewa House, Kaduna. He told them that they should vote for him, a fellow northerner, that they don't need a Yoruba president or an Igbo president, that they need a fellow northerner to solve the Nigerian problem.
Somebody who is from the north and who also understands the other parts of Nigeria and who has been able to build bridges across the rest of the country. This is what the northerner needs. It doesn't need a Yoruba candidate or an Igbo candidate.
So despite Atiku Abubakar pushing this type of ethnic politics, he still failed to win the last time. So who among the two of them, Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar, who is the one that should be the pathway for the other? Definitely it's Peter Obi, because Atiku Abubakar is relying on votes from Peter Obi to win the presidency. So Peter Obi is actually his pathway to the presidency, not the other way around. And Peter Obi knows that if he ever accepts such a proposal to be the vice presidential candidate to Atiku Abubakar in any future coalition, it will create a serious voter apathy, especially among his base. Yes, many will not come out to vote because they see Atiku Abubakar on the same level with Tinubu. And also, the VP position is not powerful. The office depends on the role the president gives it. If the president is not disposed to the vice president having any role in the administration, then he will simply be rendered powerless. And in that situation, the chief of staff to the president will be more powerful than the VP, like is happening under this administration. They are hiding it, but we all know that the current VP is not playing the role in the administration that he's supposed to be playing. just like the roles Atiku Abubakar played when he was VP to Obasanjo. A lot of ministries were under him at the time. He was the one making majority of the appointments and the recommendations. But after the rift during Obasanjo's second term, he stripped him of all the powers. He became virtually powerless. All his friends and political associates at the time deserted him because what drew them to him in the first place was all the powers he had. So the VP position is like a spare tire to be used to replace the main tire if something happens to it. Just like it happened under Yar'Adua, after his demise, Goodluck Jonathan ascended to the presidency. So this news should be seen as an opinion sampling from Atiku and his associates. They are testing the waters. They want to see the reaction of Nigerians. And Peter Obi somehow has said something in the past, sort of a response to this kind of situation. After he left PDP for Labour Party and he was campaigning, he responded to a question asked by someone whether he will campaign in Adamawa. He used the Igbo apprenticeship system to make his analogy. He said that after someone serves his boss for some years, the boss will pay him off with a settlement. And in most cases, both of them will still be in the same market, dragging the same number of customers. So what he meant was that he will go to Adamawa to campaign to see customers that he will convince to vote for him, and Atiku Abubakar will also, in the same market in Adamawa, convince people to vote for him. So using the same Igbo apprenticeship system analogy, someone does not serve a boss 2 times. It's only once. That means that Peter Obi will not go back to serve as VP to Atiku Abubakar. He has done it before in 2019. And in 2023, he felt that he has reached the age to become his own boss. That was why he contested. How can he go back and serve the same boss in 2027? It doesn't make any sense. He would rather not contest in 2027 to allow Atiku Abubakar to test his popularity against Tinubu. And if the 2027 presidential election will be between Atiku Abubakar and Tinubu, it will be very, very predictable because of the voter apathy in the South. Yes, many people would rather vote Tinubu. That's how bad they feel about it. They see it as injustice that the North doesn't want the presidency to stay in the South for at least 8 years, considering the fact that Muhammadu Buhari spent 8 years. That's how far people are willing to go. And even if in the wildest dreams, it's not possible, but even if in the wildest dreams that Peter Obi accepts to deputize Atiku Abubakar in 2027, they might still not win because of serious voter apathy. Also, the ticket will play into the hands of the APC. They will simply hit the streets in campaign and start telling people, especially in the South, that the North doesn't want the presidency to stay in the South for 8 years. And people will fall for it easily. They will simply forget about all the hardship this administration has brought on Nigerians. They won't talk about it anymore. They will still see, this is injustice. These Northerners, what do they think? Do they think Nigerians will fall for them again the way they removed Goodluck Jonathan? As a matter of fact, they're already spreading this narrative, making it an issue of North and South. So it's not nice that Atiku Abubakar wants to help them to campaign. Don't fall for them. You know that they're already working on this. Why try to push such a ticket? If Atiku Abubakar truly wants to realize his lifelong dream of being the president of Nigeria, he should wait for 2031. In 2031, everything will align for him, especially the zoning arrangement. With a heavyweight politician in the South, he will definitely win, but in 2027, it will not work. If Atiku blindly and arrogantly contests like he did in 2023, he will not get a different result. Yes. And Atiku Abubakar can only achieve the 2031 presidential election win outside APC. He cannot expect to join APC today and clinch the ticket before 2031. No, Tinubu will never hand the ticket over to him, assuming Tinubu wins in 2027. This is because the ticket will go to someone he will have a level of control over. Obviously, Atiku cannot let himself be controlled by Tinubu if he clinches the ticket. Even Kwankwaso, if he comes to APC today, he will not clinch the ticket in 2030 for 2031 election. No. There are many people already in APC jostling for the ticket. They are seeing everything that is happening, but they are being loyal, thinking that Tinubu will favor them in 2030 and hand them the ticket so that they will contest the election. And with all the state capture and everything, they will be hoping to win. In conclusion, the only way the coalition will stand a chance of winning the 2027 presidential election against APC is for them to back a southern candidate. That way, they cover all loopholes. Everyone will be on board. And for people saying, some northerners might not vote for this person, they won't do this, they won't do that, since some heavyweight politicians from the north are part of the coalition, let them convince their people and tell them, you must vote for this person. The same way some of them campaign for Muslim tickets, let them campaign this time and tell them, if you vote this person, this is the only guarantee that you will be lifted out of poverty. This is your only guarantee that insecurity will become a thing of the past. So they need to take it seriously. Like the report from the Punch newspaper said, in a year's time in 2026, all the parties that will contest the presidential election in 2027 would have presented their presidential flag bearers. So whether the coalition finally zeroes in on Labour Party, SDP, PDP or ADC like they are floating recently, they need to do it as quick as possible so as to have enough time to market the insignias of the party, their logo, everything, so that voters wouldn't be confused on election day. Yes, Nigerian politicians should for once stop being selfish and work in the national interest. Thanks for watching.